This video is sponsored by Bityard. With over 400 cryptos to trade on their spot, perpetual coin futures, USDT futures, with leverage of 1x to up to 125x, you can trade foreign exchange, commodities like gold, silver and oil, and traditional markets like Nasdaq, all with some of the lowest fees available on any trading platform. You can use their copy trader to copy other traders with better performance than you, or you can become a copy trader yourself and earn a few extra percent from the people that follow you. Plus, you got 9 out of 10 stars from the Coin Bureau guy. Bityard. Hello everybody, welcome back. We're going to have a quick think about the Bitcoin dominance chart and trading altcoins at this very moment in time. So I could show you many altcoins with all really good setups versus their Bitcoin pairs. Loads of them in fact. There's tons of them. They all look really good. If you base them on their own charts with their Bitcoin pairs, they look great. Some of them even look really good versus the, on their Tether pairs. Way better than Bitcoin, for instance. And look, we crushed this market. I've been on a good roll. I called the bottom on stocks and major indexes a couple of weeks ago, and I think that will have continuation. That should be felt across the board for cryptocurrency as well. I also called the bottom for Bitcoin to altcoin pairs 2 weeks ago. Crushed the market, generally made a good 50% extra Bitcoin on that. So there's a number of different ways that I've been able to play this market over the last couple of weeks. But one of the major edges that you will have when trading altcoins is the Bitcoin dominance chart. And look, this is a bullish setup despite coming down below all major moving averages. You have a golden cross here and you have a pullback down into it. Now everybody and their mother was talking about how Bitcoin dominance is going to go up all the way up to its previous massive highs. That was the general consensus that everybody was referring to, and I favoured that as well over time. But I was looking for a rejection around here, and that's what we got, and we killed the market. We absolutely killed it. Anyone who was following me there, I was very clear about it. It's all there on the videos for you to see, making a rotation from Bitcoin into altcoins around that level, and again, you're absolutely smashing the market. Now we've come back down below this 200 exponential, where normally you would expect a retest of the golden cross and then move up, but we've actually come down below it. So this could mean one of two things. Obviously, this isn't a price chart. This is a market cap. Bitcoin dominance is showing this, how much market cap goes into altcoins versus Bitcoin. So it's never going to be absolutely perfect, although the entry point for moving into altcoins was almost perfect. The exit point isn't quite the same. So if we go back to the weekly, we can see that we're just hanging around that 20 weekly, which is your center of the Bollinger Band. This is quite a relevant area. I know this chart is quite messy and loud, but let's just have a think about when we gave it up. So this is where your major altcoin situation really occurred. 2021, we killed the market here. You can see breaking down below the 20 simple moving average here, the Bollinger Band center, which is this purple line here. We broke down below it, resistance, and then just gave it up. We didn't revisit it until this point here. So this was your May pop, May 2021 crash, again something that we predicted on the channel, and came all the way up to retest it. Resistance, back down again. We came up, had a little moment above it, resistance, gave it up. Resistance, reclaimed it. And anyway, it is a relevant moving average by any means, by any standard, right? Even here, resistance, and finally reclaimed it, support, all the way up, and then broke back down. So rather than obviously going through every single little moment where it was relevant, it still is relevant. But because it's not a price chart, it can be quite messy, and so we're not looking for this to get an exact tag on this, but this would be, I would say, even at this stage now, something to consider as a support. This doesn't mean that altcoins get crushed or anything like that. It doesn't mean that, but it could mean that. No, it just means that Bitcoin is your safer bet. However, I always say, and I've been saying since we kept on coming down, and even being in this area, we were able to trade some serious altcoin situations just based on the support resistances while being in this channel. Never underestimate altcoins, and no altcoin is created equal. So we could be looking at a breakdown from here, and if that is the case, then we see some more upside for altcoins, maybe some significant upside for altcoins, and a continuation of this alt season that people were like, so upset for me to call, but it is appropriate to have called it an alt season. That's what it is. You can't deny the gains that altcoins have made versus Bitcoin. You know, if you went into altcoins when I said to go into altcoins, you'd be at least 50% up by now over a 2-week period. That's a pretty awesome setup. That's a decent return in this environment, which is bearish, right? So very good setup, very good results. It was all traded here openly. I was telling you exactly what I was doing. It's all there for you to see. But for now, it is one of caution. But if we do break down from here, then yeah, it would not at all surprise me to see another 50% across the board for these altcoins versus their Bitcoin pairs, maybe even more than that. And you can see that now. Other people on Twitter, more popular than me, are starting to talk about it. And you can see altcoin setups being brought to the table. But the point that I'm trying to make is that you're supposed to really get in at these when the setups were at their prime, so at their lows. Obviously now what you're getting is people touting, oh, look at these setups, no, let's take advantage. However, yeah, failed to recognize that the best time to have done it would have been 2 weeks ago, where you'd have crushed the market. Now what you're looking to do is scrape the bottom of the barrel at a pretty risky area, to be honest with you. So without going through all these chart setups, let me just show you that some of the weaker ones are actually looking quite good, and this is something worthy of looking at. This is ICP, Golden Cross, looking for a retest of that and probably a continuation, maybe even up to around 326 sats. Now, if we were to measure this from the bottom, this is where we were entering altcoins, and again, you could have chosen any altcoin really. Even ICP done a 47% move versus its Bitcoin pair since I told everybody I was buying altcoins. You know, that's ICP. This is ICP we're talking about. XRP, again, another massive underperformer, moved into altcoins around the 12th, and look, from the bottom to the top, a 48% move, currently still at 39%. You know, the list goes on. I mean, one of the ones that I took advantage of was Chainlink. There was two that I went in hard and hit. Well, there was three: Jasmy, Chainlink, and ICP. And look, there was a 63%. Obviously, I sold at 50%. So 50% is generally the top target. So I stick to my guns, and I sold back into Bitcoin at 50%, but it doesn't mean that these chart setups aren't good. These are really good, strong chart setups, and they should have continuation. The only problem is Bitcoin. Can Bitcoin do it? I think that stocks and major indices are still going to remain strong because they're a completely separate setup that I've made very public on the channel. Was the everything bounce, where everything bounces basically. So stocks, major indexes up, things like oil and Dixie and wheat down, and that should transpire into upside across the board for crypto, and if that's the case, then confidence resumes and people go into a bit more risk than Bitcoin, and then they go into altcoins, and so these could end up moving through association with that. So two completely different major analysis that I provided, one about altcoins specifically, another one about the overall market, and now we're kind of merging the two to look to see if it actually can have continuation. So look, this is a cautionary area, but if this breaks down, then yeah, those setups that we can see clear as day, whether it's ICP, Chainlink or XRP, you name it, and most of these altcoins with their Bitcoin pairs have these setups. They are still valid and they should have further continuation, but moving into next week, a little bit of caution because we are at that major support on the dominance chart. That doesn't mean that the whole market can't move as one, and it certainly can. We've seen areas on the dominance chart where Bitcoin moves up faster than altcoins, but certain altcoins move with it. We do have to take charts seriously, and again, I've managed to call the bottom on stocks. I've managed to call the bottom on Bitcoin to altcoin pairs. And that was all to do with TA. That wasn't just random stuff I was talking about. That was TA that did that, and through doing that, it's been an amazing 2 weeks, probably the most profitable 2 weeks of this entire year. And again, that was all done on TA. So let's think about the TA. Let's take it seriously. And what we do see is strength across the board for altcoins. But with that said, golden crosses do like to get retests. We do have bearish divergence. This is just Chainlink. This is ICP. We've got bearish divergence. I imagine an XRP must have it as well. XRP actually does have it, but it's not quite the same. So So yeah, I mean, like I say, no altcoin is created equal. The everything bounce should be felt across the board, and yeah, so we'll move into next week a little bit, you know, with a little bit of caution with altcoins, and favourably, if that's the right way to say it, you know, in favour of a retest of these lower zones, like the 200 exponential on 4 hourlies, for then what could be continuation across the board for altcoins. That, you know, at this point now, you know, when the top traders start talking about things, obviously it causes another wave. I don't have that kind of pump group effect, but, you know, I've noticed it on Twitter, you know, people with hundreds of thousands of followers, and now they're talking about altcoin setups, which is fine, you know, it's fine, and you know, it'll encourage people to start buying into things, and fine, because the charts suggest continuation as well, but, you know, there are warning signs this time round. Unlike before, where we got in at the bottom and did the 50%, now there are warning signs that buying right this very moment in time would, could result in a pullback by 10-15% with their Bitcoin pairs before having continuation at that point. So it's almost like, you know, changing gears. You know, all right, we're moving fast. We're going down the motorway. Yeah, let's move from 4th to 5th to 6th. That's what you've got, and during that switch, you know, you have to quickly shift that gear stick, and by doing that you lose a little bit of power, and then you suddenly go into the next phase. So we could very easily be looking at the next phase of altcoin pumping. If that was the case, though, just one thing to leave this video by: the closer we get to this lower zone here, 40% dominance, the more you need to be getting, or think about getting out of your altcoin positions and back into a Bitcoin position. Because we've had this scenario many times in the last 18 months. You know, alt season, we were loving it. We were becoming rich, super rich, super rich. And I said, look, we're going to get down to a major area. You've got to get it back into a Bitcoin, or just think about taking profit. Boosh! Any move up on a Bitcoin dominance chart like this can spell absolute disaster for altcoins, to which it did. You know, we saw, you know, collapsing of altcoins over a 2-week period of up to 70%. Bang! Told you. All right, we're at resistance. We can have a bit of altcoin situation. Get out into Bitcoin. Boosh! There you go. And again, get out of altcoins. Boosh! Wait, okay. Let's think about getting out of altcoins, because whichever way that the market wants to go, whether it wants to go up or down, you know, you do want to be in a better scenario with this Bitcoin dominance. Which is one of protection. Anyway, I'm going to leave it with you there. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.